Hello, Denton. This is Jake Laughlin bringing you another episode of Discover Denton, a show brought to you by the Convention and Visitors Bureau, highlighting events around Denton. This week we have Kim Phillips of the CVB talking about the Hickory Street construction projects. Now, some of you may have noticed we've got some construction going on Hickory Street, some little stuff, some big stuff, some more coming in the future. So Kim's going to outline that a little bit and then talk about some very cool activities that are being added to this construction to try and keep that area vibrant. So without any more ado, here is Discover Denton.
Hello there, Denton. Welcome to Discover Denton Radio. I'm Kim Phillips coming to you from the Denton Convention and Visitors Bureau, and it's good to be back. Since Christmas, things have just been kind of up and down and up and down and out of town and just trying to get everything back in order and moving along like it should has just seemed a challenge this year, and I cannot believe we're sitting here at the end of January already. That's amazing. But in our last show, Jake and I talk to you about some of the goals and projects that we have moving forward in 2014. And Jake shared a lot of the goals for DentonRadio.com, and of course they're very much compatible with the goals of Discover Denton and the Convention and Visitors Bureau. But I want to today focus on one of the goals that I spoke to you about during that show, and that is the Hickory Street development project and a campaign that goes hand in hand with that project. If you've been into the downtown area at all, you've probably already seen that we've got some construction materials going on down there already. There have been some cones. There have been some sawhorses. There have even been some machines here and there. And you know how that freaks people out. People seem to see an orange cone and head the opposite direction. And that's what our campaign is all about, is trying to make sure that people don't just leave Denton high and dry simply because an orange cone is out there. The project that's going on Hickory Street is vital to the future of Denton. And it's really short-lived. And let me tell you, we're not actually even into the big construction part yet. The construction will be getting underway fully about April. Right now, what you see going on out there, if you go down in the Industrial Street, Hickory Street area, is just some infrastructural work. We're talking about some of the civil engineering that's got to happen to make everything ready and prepared for the actual new street to be laid. Now, when this street gets laid, y'all, this is going to be beautiful. First of all, we're going to have very wide sidewalks, new sidewalks on both sides of Hickory Street, all the way from the A train station at the Downtown Denton Transit Center, all the way to the square. That's going to be a nice add. Right now, you know how it is if you're walking even just from a parking place that's close by, such as Williams Square. You find that it can be kind of challenging walking down those very thin sidewalks that haven't been updated in a long time. So there are big cracks, holes, things that, especially in the evening time, can be dangerous. Lighting is another thing you're going to see that's going to change. There's going to be quite an improvement in the lighting situation, which is going to be very nice, again, especially at night. But even aesthetically, we're looking at park benches, much more outdoor dining opportunities, al fresco. There's going to be back-end parking, which is going to create a lot of new parking spaces that aren't there right now. That's going to be a really necessary add. And a lot of people get freaked out over this back-end parking thing. It's very common in larger cities because it can take a space where front-end parking exists now, turn it around backwards. I don't really understand the engineering of it, but it can add up to 50 additional spaces. And that's what it's going to actually add for our project here on Hickory Street. And Lord knows we need the extra parking. So anyway, if that makes you nervous, one of the events that we have going on this summer is we're going to do a back-end parking rodeo. So if you want to start practicing now, somebody's going to get highlighted for having that down already. But yeah, that's coming too. Trees, landscaping, very current and environmentally friendly and very recycling. All of that's involved in the water collection areas that are going to be there so that Drainage is going to be great, and everything, the trees, the landscaping, everything will be watered very naturally. I mean, it's so Denton what all is going into this project. And it's going to bridge the area between the A-train station and the courthouse like never before. But here's the deal. That area down there has really become the heartbeat of Denton. Has been for a long time. And we know that much of the hip and funky reputation that we enjoy in the world out there springs from the live music and the creative, artistic energy that goes on down there all the time. We've got to keep that alive. And this campaign that the Convention and Visitors Bureau is partnering up with a number of other entities in the community, our whole goal in that campaign is to make sure that we as Dentonites continue to make the choice to be there through this year, because we want Dan Silverleaf and Fuzzies and Roosters and Mellow Mushroom and Hickory Street Lounge and Weinbergers and Vigny. We want all of those people to still be there, to still be healthy, to still have it going on when the Hickory Street project is over. Because the project is actually going to extremely emphasize this whole district that we've all grown to love so much. So keep going down there. We've got a really interesting and fun app that we're going to be unveiling within the next month. This is our first step in this campaign. You'll want to be listening for it. I'll keep talking about it on the show as it evolves, but this is going to be a great app to help you find the best parking, to help you find what's going on where. It'll actually send you alerts of things that you're interested in or that you want to remember. It'll send you specials for what's going on where. Maybe it's a happy hour special today and a pizza special tomorrow or an ice cream special the next day. And it's not limited to just the Industrial Street area. This whole app and all of the engagement will encompass the entire downtown area. It will definitely serve to keep downtown and the Industrial Street and Hickory Street areas at the forefront of your mind, so that we keep infusing health through this year, so that when we get to the other side, we've got a thing of beauty that will long fuel downtown Denton. Now, interestingly enough, in conjunction and at the very same time that Hickory Street is under development, Fry Street is also going under a major development, a major construction project. So the same thing goes there. Depending on who you are out there, who's listening, and what demographic you fall in, Fry Street may be where you hang out, or downtown may be where you hang out, or maybe you go back and forth between based on who's playing and what's going on any given night. I mean, 7 nights a week, 365 days a year, something's going on in Denton. Daytime too. And both areas are vital to maintaining who we are, the ambiance of who we are, the character. It affects the character of who we are as a community. In my column with the Denton Record Chronicle and my blog, I've been talking for months about the essence of Denton and what that really means. Check that out. And actually right now we're going through a few weeks of really asking you for your feedback as far as how do you sum up the essence of Denton in a word or in a phrase, because that's what we want to keep alive. And that's what it takes every one of us deciding we're going to uphold it through what could be a very difficult time. But I believe it's not going to be. I think we will come forward. We will shop local. We will focus on those things that are important to us year round, and most especially so during this time. But I will tell you, we're going to create some fun things to do down in those areas, some mural competitions, some games, some, things to see that aren't normally there. We're going to create attractions in that area to make sure you keep showing up. Bring your friends. It's going to be the place to be. We'll keep talking about this as we move forward over the next few weeks. Thanks for being with us today. See you next time on Discover Denton.
There you have it. That was this week's episode of Discover Denton. A big thanks to Kim Phillips of the CVB. Another big thanks to Gravity Feed for providing the intro and outro music. I'm Jake Laughlin, your host. Join us next week. We will be bringing you more highlights of our original and independent city. And in the meantime, go enjoy Denton.